What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes and welcome to another full FIFA 14 Ultimate Team gameplay on my channel. The last time I uploaded a full FIFA 14 gameplay, I showed you just the highlights. It sounded like more of you guys wanted to see the actual ebb and flow, the way the game feels, how how chances are actually created, how counterattacks are fully developed. So I thought, all right, this time we're going to go ahead and show the entire thing again, except for the squad load up screen, which you guys will have seen that I missed out on. But you will be able to see the guys on the screen that I'm playing against. FIFA Rale. And if you guys don't know who FIFA Rale is, he is another YouTuber. I believe he's from Denmark. Apologies if I'm wrong on that, but I'm almost sure that he is. And he is probably one of the best FIFA players on YouTube in terms of his ability to do skill moves and his ability to defend and just purely win matches. I managed to get a cheeky little one off a rebound there. Andre Schürrle, you guys have heard me talk about him before, but he is a fantastic player on Ultimate Team. If you were lucky enough to get him in your starter pack, you know, if you're feeling generous, you can send him my way. I will not complain. But I think he's going to be one of those players that people absolutely love playing with this year. I am using some sort of a hybrid squad myself. I've got Lam Farfan. I'm not exactly sure who else. Looks like Company in there. So an interesting little BPL, maybe Bundesliga hybrid side. And gonna be doing my best to win a game. But every time that I've played Raleigh, it's quite challenging, and I'm sure you'll see him use some skill moves, but generally when we kind of play each other, the skills go out the window a little bit. Both of us are pretty competitive guys, and we're both gonna want to try to win more than not. This was probably, I think, my first game that I used Sergio Aguero. Now, Sergio Aguero is absolutely just a bully up top. His combination of strength, pace, I want to say size, but he's really not that tall, but ball control, passing, movement, skill moves, all these things make him probably what will be, gosh, I'd say the most expensive striker in am I going to say all of... No, not all of FIFA, because you're going to have Ibrahimovic and Falcao. That'll maybe be more expensive than him. But even in the BPL, I think Aguero... Well, at least for me personally, Aguero should go for more than Rooney and probably more than Van Persie just because of the pace. Now, that might very well not be the case because... Rooney's a very popular player, even though I cannot use him on FIFA to save my life. I just fail miserably when I use Wayne. And Van Persie kind of a little bit more of the same, where I just don't have that much success with him. This year, I think he's going to be a lot better, and I'm kind of excited about trying him out and using him. But in previous years, they just have not been my type of player. However, Sergio Aguero is the type of player that everybody has success with because probably he's got that pace, and his strength is very forgiving. When he gets through on goal, he's very, very difficult to bully off of the ball, which you will, I think you see at least one point in this game. The formation that I'm using, I want to say I'm using that 4-4-2, the second one with the two center defensive mids, a left mid and a right mid. If I pause the game at one point, we'll be able to check that out. But if you haven't already, I uploaded a video from my experience on FIFA 14 about the the formations that I think are the absolute best to build a squad around in Ultimate Team. So if you're on the web app and you're starting to go ahead and build your squads, then go ahead and take a look at that video and see if one of those formations might fit the players that you want to use. I think this year more than anything else, it's going to be about finding a formation that fits the team and the players that you want to have in your squad, especially because I found that I had success with multiple different formations at the events. You know, if I can put out a top 5, that's something I haven't really been able to do in the past. And I'm sure that could be honed down to maybe a top 3 once I actually get going. And when I say get going, I'm talking about playing 10, 15 games a day maybe when Ultimate Team starts to come out. I don't know if I'll be doing that all. I can't imagine. Maybe 10 games a day, something like that. But I'll be able to hone down exactly to see, you know, what the best 3 are. But for right now, I had success using a lot of different formations, and I didn't really feel necessarily weak against well, while using, you know, any formation really. Now, there were certain times that I felt a little overwhelmed by my opponent's formation relative to how it compared to mine, but this was kind of one of the first FIFAs that all in all, I felt like the majority of the formations were probably going to be somewhat viable, and you could actually get away with using all of them, which is cool because that opens up loads of possibilities for creative hybrid squads. And I'm going to try a knuckle free kick right here and just fail miserably because I didn't fully understand the mechanics at this time. It goes right to his keeper. He obviously moved the wall, so the smart option would have probably been to try to curl it in at the far post, go for a sliding tackle right there, hope to manage to nick one away from FIFA Raleigh. But he is, let's see, to tell you a little bit more about Raleigh, he was a skiller to begin with, and in last year's FIFA, he decided that he was going to switch over to commentaries, and he does a series called, I think it's called Let's FIFA, and I think he did Let's FIFA 13, I'm sure he'll do Let's FIFA 14, and it's a very good series, and that's because he is so good with his Brazilians in terms of skill moves, and I had to hit that volley. I had to. I was hoping that Aguero would take it with his right foot, and it's actually my fault for not letting him take it with the right foot. Now, you guys are going to say, James, I don't know if you can really control things like that, but in FIFA, you actually can, and it's when you start the charge up for the shoot button, or when you press B to start shooting is when it really matters. If I'd waited a longer time, the ball would have come farther across Aguero's body right there, and he would have decided to take it with his right foot. So that is just a little tidbit, something to have a play with. That skill that Raleigh just did there, that kind of like ball, I'd always mess up the name of it, that like heel to heel chop moving forward, it seemed very effective this year. So a lot of players, I think, can do that move successfully. Or maybe it's only 4-star skillers. I should know this, but I don't off the top of my head. But that's a skill move that can be used very effectively, and I found it to be somewhat difficult to defend. And on the topic of defending in general, guys, this year you are going to have to play maybe a little bit more cautiously. And if you are used to defending by purely holding down the A button, guess what? You're going to get yourself into some trouble. That kind of puts a smile on my face. Not because I want you guys to fail. I want you guys to succeed. And that's why I give you tips. And that's why I'm, telling you about these things that have helped me out along the way. But it's because I am going to score more goals, because people aren't going to purely be able to hold A and defend me. Yay. I like to talk about contained defending as not really being a big deal, and there were obviously ways to break it down. One way was to just kind of knock it around and wait for them to get bored and decide they weren't going to contain anymore, draw someone out of position, and then it's basically a free goal. Andre Schürrle using the pace, skipping inside, he's a strong enough player, going for that finesse shot, and just a fantastic save. Now again, finesse shots should be toned down, but still a possibility of something like that going in. I'd like to see Will be there. It's not outrageous for some of the top players in the world to score on a finesse shot like that. Now, don't take that as me saying Schürrle is one of the top, most world-class, finishers. However, he and maybe, actually, I like to think that he could probably produce a finish from that area. It'd probably be more of a driven shot with the ball physics, making it drifts off to the right side and tail into that side corner. But there are a lot of players in the world that could produce a finish like that from there every so often. So a shot from that distance maybe could still be realistic, but I guess only time will tell if FIFA is going to actually be in the game. Now the countdown has started. So the web app was released early yesterday, which was 2 days ahead of schedule. We were anticipating the web app release on Sunday. I was right there with all of you guys. I got home from the airport after the Air Japes taxi service, driving a buddy there, and I came back and people were tweeting to me about the web app, and I was like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. Is that even real? And of course I went and logged in right away, and now you guys will have seen there are 2 episodes of Path to Power Out, which you can check out. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well, or I'll even try to link it up on the screen. But if you guys are going to wonder whether or not there's going to be a Path to Power out later today, the answer to that is more than likely no. I'm going to try to stick to 1 a day. Now, if you guys really want to see another Path to Power, probably not today, but if you would like to see 2 of episodes of Path to Power, possibly even a 3-pack tomorrow. I don't really want to go for a 3-pack though right away, but if there's that, you guys will have to let me know by leaving some comments or some ratings on this video, tweeting at me at FIFA, just letting me know what you guys want to see, because I want to do my absolute best to give you guys the content that you are looking for. And Aubameyang is ridiculous. If you got him in one of your starter packs contracts, or if you think you can pick him up, go ahead and do that. I don't know how many coins he's going to be, or he goes for right now on the web app, but he is so fast. He is lightning quick. Nice little combo with Aguero right there. Aguero showing off that strength, and I was sure that had to have been a goal. Aubameyang goes for a bit of an overhead right there, but the angle was just too much for him. This side, I don't think I had perfect chemistry in this team, but it was close enough, and I was able to, essentially play successfully. We're 2-0 up right now in the 56th minute, and had kind of the majority of control of this game. Now I'll give you guys a quick 411, and if you don't know what 411 means, 411 is what you would type in on a phone to get what would be information. So it's essentially, I'm going to give you guys a bit of info is the way that expression means. So the info that I'm going to give you guys is essentially my philosophy on playing FIFA 14 from the start when you're just learning, and that is to score 2 goals and then try out loads of different things. See what you can and can't get away with. Because one, you're not going to have fun if you're losing games. That's just kind of the way it goes. Some people might. If you're playing a buddy and you're just kind of screwing around, then hey, whatever. However, you lose contracts this year, you lose fitness this year, and it goes on your record when you're playing a buddy as well. So that means that you more than likely are still going to kind of want to beat your friend. Because as much as we all like to talk about records not meaning anything, everybody still kind of likes having a nice record. It's just one of those things with any game. You like having a high KDA in shooter games. You like having a nice record in sports games. It's just the way of the gaming world, It's a poster and it's a title for, hey, this is about where I am at this game. This is about how good I think I am. But so score those 2 goals. And then start trying things, because a 2-goal lead, while it's considered to be, the worst lead in footy, or the most deadly lead in footy, something like that, because it's so easy to give up one and then they're only a goal down, and then you give up another and you're drawn and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then you give up one more and you end up losing the game. It's so brutal. You drop points so easily with a 2-goal lead. For the most part, I still think it's enough on FIFA, because when you're trying things, chances are that something's probably going to work out, especially in the early days, and that you're going to surprise your opponent, and you very well could bag another goal. So that's kind of the basic start of my philosophy. It's get those 2 goals, and the 2 goals that you're going to score are going to be, Lam just got absolutely bullied right there, but the 2 goals you're going to score very well could be from over the top through balls, from crosses, something like that. But get your 2 goals, get your opponent flustered, and they're going to get frustrated, and then you can start trying out some of those new things, just like that for a strike. Now, that was a fantastic looking long shot. I can't believe that header didn't go in. What the heck? I had so many good chances in this game. To only have 2 right now. I've got my hands on my head. You guys can't obviously see me, but the hands are on the head. And I've actually, this is going to be a complete side note, sidebar. I've changed around my setup right now, so I'm going to be putting in a green screen right behind me, so I can put my mug up on the screen a little bit more often. So if that's something that you guys kind of like the idea of or want to see, I'll be popping up down in the corner being like, yo, what's up? This is Japes, or this is me. This is how I'm looking today. And I'll hopefully give a little bit more of a friendly experience with you guys. So as far as questions go, I always say I will do my best to answer your questions in the comment section down below, and I will do that again for a little while once this video is released. You can always tweet me, and if it's a question that I think the answer will help a lot of people out, then I will do my absolute best to answer that. But other than that, we're now 80th minute. We're closing down or closing in towards the end of this video. Had gotten the better of Raleigh this time. I don't think that's always going to be the case. I'm looking forward to playing him a few more times, and while I say that, he slips free inside. Oh, yeah, there it is. The rebound. Come on. He had Gareth Bale on his team, too. A shutdown Gareth Bale. That's always a pretty good feeling. But I'm looking forward to playing Raleigh a few more times. I'll leave his channel link down in the description below, because he's just, a good player to spar with. And when I say spar, it's essentially just honing your skills on FIFA. And that's what we're all about. And you saw shooting it with Gareth Bale on FIFA, it's more often than not, it's worth a goal. When I was talking about players that can produce something spectacular in the game and you wouldn't really blink about it, Gareth Bale would definitely have to be included in that list. And you can see he's using that chop skill move that I was talking about before. I think this is maybe the 2nd or 3rd game that I played with him, but I thought there were some good chances, there was some good ball movement, and it was maybe worth having a view. Anyways, guys, now 4 minutes to go in this match. I really hope that I score one more to close this one out. If I don't, that 2-goal lead could really come back to bite me. I could very much see that happening. Now I've clicked on wing swap in the game right now. I moved Farfan over to the left and Schürrle over to the right. And that was just because I wanted to see exactly how Farfan would perform cutting inside on his right foot. Traditionally in FIFA, he's got a very beastly and strong shot, and he kind of gets overlooked. And it's just because, part of it's because he's from Peru. He doesn't have good nationality links. He can really only link up with Bundesliga players. Arjen Robben's over on that right side, and the cheaper option is going to be Sidney Sam, who's also a faster option. So he kind of gets overlooked, and his price really isn't that expensive for the player that you get. He's also got very solid free kicks. So if you're building your ultimate team and you're thinking, hey, the Bundesliga might be the league for me, he might be one of those players that I check out. I also want you guys to leave a comment down below and let me know which team you are planning on building first as soon as you get the coins to do it, and maybe give an estimate of about how many coins you think it'll take off the start to build that team. It'll be an interesting discussion and an interesting conversation to get going. Anyways, guys, we're about at the end of the video now, 90th minute. I think this is how it ends at 2-1. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, a like or thumbs up is always greatly appreciated. I'll leave a link to the Path to Power playlist at the end of this episode, so you can be sure to check that out. Other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.